Making a little more headway on the Jeep. Got the front painted. Now I got some JK headlights in there. Radiators installed. Oil coolers installed. I'm working on, I got throttle cable connected and working on an intake system and cleaning the wiring up. But today's project is we're back on the shuttle bus camper and I'm going to rig up. This is going to be my black tank, believe it or not. I'm going to use about 5 foot of this 4-inch PVC pipe with the elbow that goes to a 3-inch pipe. And this is what I got rigged up here. There's the bottom of the toilet, and it's going to come right through here, run right along my frame rail for about 5 feet. And the reason I'm doing this is I need a way to get a functional bathroom that's good for like maybe a weekend or something like that, you know, to get away. And it's nothing long term, it's just like short-term emergency whenever you need to get up in the middle of the night, stuff like that. My wife wants a regular flush toilet, so that's what we're going with. And this is a Dometic and porcelain bowl, all that good stuff. And you flush it on the side here. So here's my cheap holding tank. That should be good for, I did a little calculator, it's on the internet. I'll try to put the link in the description so you can play around with it. But a 4-inch pipe, about 5 foot in length, gives me about 3.5 to 3.25 gallons of being able to flush. So I figure that's good for, you know, maybe a weekend getaway or something like that, and at least until we can get to an RV park. So here we go. One thing, this thing had rear heat in it, and this is all the extra gadgets and stuff I pulled out of it because my heater wasn't working up front. So I pulled all that stuff out and rewired some stuff. Had to stop up a vacuum line for some of the controls up here on the dash. I have to plug up that one vacuum line, and voila, we got heat again up front. Everything works like it should. So basically, I have a 5 foot overall length. I'm going to have to chop it off. Might be a little long, but I'd rather have too long than too short. So that's how we're going to handle this. If I get this on the road for the middle, towards the middle of November, there's a car swap meet that I'd like to go to and spend the night, and just want it enough where we can kind of test it out. Alright, I'm going to do a dry fit real quick. Put some of these pieces together. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I picked this up, and I was going to go with the PVC, but I found that little rubber thing, and I thought, hey, that'll work out pretty good. Give me a little bit of flexibility, and I got some more cement here. What do you think? I'm going to throw it up under there, see how it works. Okay, well, so far so good. Looks like this. Goes all the way down there. I gotta wait for my valve to get in here tomorrow, and then I'll cement everything together, and then kind of permanently mount it up under there. Okay, so I got it all stuck together. I haven't like totally tightened it down, but you can tell I got a bit of a slope right here. I'm gonna put a piece of wood at the end down there, and then I've got these metal bands I'm gonna tighten down. The whole apparatus with water in it and everything shouldn't weigh more than probably 30-40 pounds. So I think those straps will hold it fine. And I gotta get my my connector for the sewage hose and the valve and put that in there. And waiting, that should be here tomorrow, and I can start that process. So, and my water tank should be coming in sometime today. Definitely stands out, but I think I got plenty of clearance between that and the tire. You can see, couldn't go much wider than that, but it just does fit. So, simple black water tank so far. These batteries are no joke. The guy I bought them off of, they said they were for power supply. I guess for like a telecommunication station. They weigh like 100 pounds a piece. He said the heavier they are, the longer they'll last. So I got to figure out which side I'm going to put it on. When I get my water tank, I'm going to try it out over here or over here and find out what works best. Sorry it's taking a while, guys, but trying to make videos when I can and get this thing together. You see the Jeep's making some progress here. Radiator's in. Got the cooler in. Nothing's hooked up the transmission yet. Got a new fan. I'm trying to figure out the intake and you know, what I'm going to do about that. So that's as far as I've gotten on there. Wiring's still a mess. But right now the focus is the camper. We're going to try to go to Moultrie, Georgia swap meet next weekend. So I'm trying to get this thing where we can at least camp in it one night. And one of the requirements is I have a flushing toilet in there. And as you can see, I got the plumbing hooked up. It's basically a straight pipe, holds about 4 gallons of water. So got four gallons worth of flushing ability, and I got my sewer hose there. Hook it up. Electrical system, we're talking basics here. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how I can secure the batteries, and I'm going to have the battery going, the positive into 200 amp breaker. I probably should have sized this to be 125, but I noticed other people are using 200, but I kind of wish I would have went 125. Got a Blue Seas 12 volt fuse block, so I can, you know, hook up circuits as needed. So trying to get all the big wires in, everything that's necessary. I've got a Power Max 100 amp, which is probably overkill, but 100 amp charger. And my idea is I'm going to, I've got my keys. It's all right. Go this way. So most of my electrical systems up front up here, batteries from the engine come up here and run a cable up here, and they terminate up here. So this is engine driven battery power that's up here. And what I've done is I tapped my, I don't know how you spell it, Xantrix. It's a 1,000 watt inverter. And I've got it wired in up here, tapped into the engine alternator, so that this will run off the engine alternator. And I've got a extension cord that runs the length all the way back to my inverter charger back here. So as I'm driving, the engine powers the inverter charges the batteries in the rear. And I like doing it that way because you don't have to run a super thick cable all the way back to the back, because if you're going 12 volt, you got to, you know, compensate for a lot of amperage. And this way you're just compensating more for voltage, and you can use a regular extension cord. I just think it's a better way to do it. I also have I have to wire in a remote switch here, so got a few things to do, but basically I'm going to get the basic power in and enough to provide flushing ability of the toilet. and secure things so they're not flying around rattling, and we're just going to use it as is and see what kind of modifications that we need to make to further improve it. I had some leftover D-rings from one of my other projects, and I'm going to use these to secure my battery with a hefty strap. I figured that's like 200 pounds of battery, so I need to keep it from slinging around in here. So I'm drilling a few holes, and I'm going to back it up with some gigantic washers. That's one of those things I was kind of dreading, figuring out how to secure this, but I did this in the box camper and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, this battery is connected to another battery that is underneath the steps down here, and I don't know what kind of condition that one's in, but this one keeps dying. I think there's something draining it up here. I've got to figure out what it is, keep it charged up. In the meantime, we switch back to the plumbing, trying to avoid the cold, wet weather here. Getting my tank plumbed in, going with PEX on this side, and I'm going to put a drain on this side. And yeah, figured that'd be the best place to put the drain. Alright, what are we looking for? Big hole cutter. I gotta cut some big holes. This thing works, it has in the past for cutting big holes. Actually built a couple of houses. Yeah. Had a few beers, let's go ahead and cut some holes in this thing. Ooh, look at that. I think this is gonna happen. Perfect. Right here is a bad place because it's in line with the wheel. Right here would be a good place. Or I could always put it right here, but that's kind of goofy hanging out. Right there, easy to get to. How in the world did I ever cut that hole in there? I don't remember doing that. Whatever. That means we're definitely gonna have to go. Gonna have to go from the bottom. Oh, we can go from the top. Should have done the plumbing before I started this thing. All right, so we're relying on an old theory my grandfather told me. A lazy man has to be smart. So we're drilling this hole with a dull bit. I'm kind of hopefully using a little leverage here. We're having to strain ourselves too much. And it worked. Okay, there's the final product. That was way too much pain. I guess it was worth it though. I don't have to put any holes in the side of this thing, which doesn't really matter, but easy to get to. It's got a little cover that goes on it, and it's going to be convenient for the pump. Hey everybody, meet Steve. What's up, Steve? What you doing? Dog has got way too much energy. Go, Steve, go! Back to this. All right, here's my fancy plumbing. What we have is two lines. This is an incoming line for the water pressure from the street. This is the pressure going out of the pump. And I've got a valve here where I can flip the valve like that, and water from the street would come in and go into the pump and fill my tank. And then I can shut this valve off and just have a regular pressured system running off the pump. So, or that's a one-way valve for the street valve over there, and you know, it can just have the street water pressure, just plug it into an RV park or something like that. That's the way it's supposed to work in theory. And then I have this line running, which goes right over here and goes right up there to my sink. So I just got the cold water set up, and got the commode plumbed, or the toilet plumbed up. So that's the main purpose of this, is so we have a flushing toilet, and we're going to go stay somewhere this weekend. Got to work on the electrical system and wire the pump up, and then I can test to see if everything works and if I have any leaks. Got a lot done in a couple of days, and I'm thinking about using this. I was sent this by Oxbeam, and they sent me some stuff to try out, and I just got around to, I was thinking this would be perfect for turning my pump on and off, and some lights, and you know, other things throughout the, it's what it is a remote switch, and it's got its own fuse block, and I could just replace that there with this, and be able to turn my fridge on and off, and stuff like that. I'm thinking about doing that. So, yeah. So I had a couple leaks. That one I forgot to clamp, I think. This one over here I had to reclamp. And right now I am filling the tank up. Got my little trusty valve here. Shuts off the water, fill the tank, turn that way, fills the tank up. And over here it looks like I don't have any leaks. Got to check over here. I don't see any leaks yet. Camper got wet. Any leaks in here? Moment of truth. Let's see what happens. That thing's still leaking in here. That's not good. When's that supposed to stop? Or does it? Success! We have a flushing toilet. That was the whole goal of all the power and all that kind of stuff. So we got the basics. I got the basic wiring up, and we're going to test the pump out. We did the city water. What is that dog doing in here? Okay, so I got the switches for the pump. The pump is on. Now I go see if the toilet flushes using the 12-volt pump. Hey. Yeah. Works pretty good. Hopefully this thing won't leak. Because it's getting tested out tonight. than I remember it. Not bad. Looks comfortable. I could totally sleep on this. All right, this is Vader the Escape Pod's first trip.
That is a terrible name.
I know. I gotta think of a better name, I guess.
All right, so Steve's first trip and the RV's first trip.
Guess what?
I'm more worried about Steve than the RV. I have better faith in your ability to build the RV than I do in this dog behavior.
I don't know. He's pretty crazy. Guess what? This doesn't work.
What is this?
The cigarette lighter. Oh, great. That one does. Why would one work and another one wouldn't? I don't know. That's the thing. They had all kinds of crazy mechanics working on this thing. There's no telling what's... Okay. There we go. Well, we'll get going in a minute. All right. We're on our way to Moultrie, Georgia. Maybe stop in and Macon or something to get something to eat.
Definitely stop at Macon to eat something. I'm hungry.
Okay. Set out.
Hungry.
Hey, thanks for watching my channel, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do for future updates. Remember, build it, don't buy it.